Welcome ladies and gentlemen to another Greybeard Citizen video. So today I'm looking at the mining loop and specifically the Drake Golem. Really good ship for starters. Did you know that in Star Citizen the Drake Golem is designed specifically for mining? It can hold up to 32 skews of raw ore, and that's enough to make some serious cash as a beginner. Today I'm concentrating on the mining loop in Drake Golem. I'm going to show you where to go, how to mine, how to make some money. So this is a great starter ship. It's got its mining laser which comes out from the top, as you can see, and then goes forwards. It's very maneuverable, very capable little ship. The goal for this video really is to demonstrate how to use the Drake Golem to mine, where best to go, certainly where I like to go, for a big array of different deposits. The deposits are effectively where the ores are extracted from. So it's about fracturing and then collecting. So I'm setting my map in a little while. This is leaving Area 18, which is a nice pretty city on Arcor. It's a nice shot. Taking the Golem out of Area 18. Area 18 is my home base for this particular patch 4.5. As we know, 4.6 is out soon, all being well, so we can change again where we would like to be our main habitat.
Certainly.
So I'm now going to look for Aberdeen, which is one of my favourite places to go mining. There's a good amount of different deposits, and also a good place for gem mining, which I had a look at in my previous video, so please take a look at that if you'd like to see me in action trying a bit of gem mining. So I intend in 4.6 to start doing the missions for mining. It's very exciting. We've never had any mining missions before. So this has been added in 4.6. So diving into the gameplay, I'm going to do a bit of a commentary. So this is just showing you some views of the Golem. In the videos I've done so far, I've always come across a bug of some description, which is not unusual for Star Citizen. So stick around for that, because I do come across another bug at the end, towards the end of the video. I've time-stamped it all, so if you wanted to pop forward to just where I'm doing some mining, it's completely fine. But I've tried to record this with lots of nice views to show off the beauty that Star Citizen is. Being a beginner to Star Citizen myself, and being an older gamer who's played video games for many, many years from the 70s, but we won't go into that. I am thrilled to have come across Star Citizen, which is just so fabulous, so well built, apart from the bugs, but I can understand why they occur. It's such a complex game, and I'm happy to play the game as it is in the alpha stage and watch the development as it happens. So this is Aberdeen, one of my favourite spots to mine. It's a very, very hot moon, so I wouldn't suggest actually getting out of your vehicle unless you've got a special suit, which is, I believe, it's called the Pembroke suit, allowing you to deal with the extreme temperatures. In the Golem, you don't need to get out. It's a single seater. Do all your mining from the seat. So I'm just pulling away from that particular point I flew into, just so that I'm away from any potential conflict. Dropping down now under gas clouds, and we'll soon have our first view of the planet's surface. That's starting to look fabulous. So what we need to do is start scanning the surface, and I tend to find that some of the scans that show up, which are further distance away, maybe 5-6 kilometers out, tend to be deposits that we're after, as opposed to animals or gem deposits. That one there is a gem deposit that showed up quite soon, so that's because it's small. It tends to show up a bit later on the scans, where the deposits show up further out. So I'm hopeful for this one. Isn't that pretty? Just carry on scanning and identify hopefully our first deposit. It looks like this one again is gems. It is, yeah. Fingers crossed this next one will be a deposit that I can start to fracture. And yeah, this looks promising. Get closer in and the deposits will start to show themselves. That's it, you get a identification that is something of interest. And what I do is start to get close, so I'm in the optimum zone, which on the left side has just gone into the green, so I'm at a good distance away. Just allow the server to catch up so that it can give me the information on the right hand side regarding its composition, and if it's easy, well, it's come up on the right hand side there, that it's easy, that it's got a variety of different raw ores within it. So I'm going to go through fracturing. So the idea is to increase the laser, not too much, that was a little bit too much, increase the laser power so that we stay in the yellow zone and not in the red, because if you stay in the red it will blow up and potentially damage the ship. So I'm just feathering the power to allow that to break nicely like that. And now I can scan all these individual rocks which I've just fractured to find out what they are. So we can see the composition there on the right. And for the purpose of this demonstration, I'm not being too choosy on which ores to get. But as long as I've got 30-40% of an ore that's of value, I'm happy to take that. You'll always get some inert material and some lower grade material like iron and quartz. You can sell them, no problem, they're all sellable. but you just don't get as much for them. The Golem, as I've said before, is capable of holding up to 32 units, so it's a good amount of ore that you can collect on a trip out. Then get those loaded onto the elevator and see about either selling them directly as ores or getting them refined. If you refine the ore, you can sometimes get up to twice as much for them from the trade centres. Takes a little trip out to the trade centre, but you can get twice as much for them, so it's often worth doing. No more scanning there. I've decided not to take or break any of those. Mining is a very, very relaxed way of, or should I say a loop, a very relaxed loop to play in Star Citizen. And you're using a lot of the controls. It's a good, really good way to get to learn the controls, I find. So I'm going to go for that one. Increasing the power. Now this one might be tricky. Nothing's happening just at the moment, and I'm starting to increase the power. Oh, it's starting to come up, so I'm being quite delicate on the power. Oh dear, straight into the red. Now unfortunately that means that this one could potentially explode, so I backed off, and yeah, it's exploded. So unfortunately a lot of that has disappeared. Happens. Don't give up, you just crack on. As long as you've realised that might occur and come away from it before it explodes and potentially damages your ship. Move on to another one. See how this one goes. Increasing the power gently. Yeah, this looks quite good. This looks like hopefully this will be a nice clean break and we can find some nice ores within this. It's a nice clean break. So just scan the individual fractured rocks now. Find out what they're composed of. There we go, that's a good one. Just take that all in. I'll just talk a little bit about 4.6 coming up. I've been watching it on the PTU. Some of the guys that I follow on YouTube. I watched Ollie complete the first mission, which is going to be available on 4.6, mining in 4.6. So mining's going to become... We're going to have missions, which is really good, but it's also going to become more and more important for the new crafting loop that's going to be added in 4.6. So the skill of being able to mine and knowing where to go, and which materials are best for crafting what. Well, we'll see what that's going to be like in the future. When 4.6 comes out, we'll see all about the different materials that we can go out and mine, so we can build things ourselves. It's very exciting. Taking a look at all these, deciding on. Sometimes it takes a little while for the server to catch up to give you the information about them. I think some of these aren't worth picking up at the moment. I don't necessarily want to store the golem full of cheaper materials. I want to get something for my efforts today. So I've decided to move on here. Just double checking. So looking forward to future videos, I want to include more in-depth mining strategies and explorations of mining ships and different areas. I'll have a whole series based around mining and how much money we can make and what best to mine. But please keep a lookout for those. Suggest leaving a like, it always helps the video. And of course subscribe if you want more. Notifications, standard stuff. Nice clean break there. Getting dark now. It doesn't stay light very long on Aberdeen. Got a short. It's only about 3 hours basically. 3-hour day or something like that. Ooh, the music's just changed there. Not sure why. Some kind of shots going off. This one looks a bit big. I'm not sure whether or not I'll be able to tackle that one. Impossible. So the golem is limited on its size that it can deal with. There are one or two other mining ships. The Mole, for example, is a bigger ship, more suited to 2 players at once. But that would be able to deal with the larger deposits. That's something to aspire to, basically, in my opinion. tackle this one. Only got a small window of opportunity. Hopefully this illustrates how to do the fracturing. I just take it nice and steady. Hope that I don't overcook it. I'm very, very gentle on the power. And it's gone into red, so come off it. And it broke at the higher level, but I think that everything's going to be okay. Might get something good out of this. A little bit of patience is always required. Allow the server to catch up to give you the information you need on the composition. For this video, for the illustration purposes on how to mine, I'm not being too picky, as long as I've got something juicy. I've now filled up. So the idea now is fill the golem up and to take it back to a refinery. So there's one I particularly use, which is not too far away. So heading back to a station I know where I can refine.
Please select your destination.
I don't know whereabouts it is, so I'm just going to look for it. I can often never remember the names of them. It's an age thing, you know. That's the one. The route over to that. Speed this up a little bit. So the next thing we're going to do is to land at this station. Once I'm there, obviously. Drop the golem down to storage. And then go to the refinery. At the refinery, there's two possibilities. You can either sell the ore directly without refining it, or refine it and potentially double what it's worth. So I'm going to leave that here at the end of part 1. The link to part 2 will be coming up. Please take a look at that. Thank you for watching. Catch you soon.